Well, hello. On today's show, we're going to show you all the great stuff that you're going to need to pre-order from March's previews guide that is going to be available in May, and we're going to dabble a little bit in February. Welcome to your favorite comics and collectibles information live stream. The previews
You ever get all that shit together?
by Xcellar Comics. I, of course, am your fourth or fifth favorite live streaming host, Kevin. And two of your other three are in the room. First up is Patrick.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning. And then, of course, Mike is here.
What's up, guys? Let's spend other people's money.
Nice. Man, that was so smooth. Karen Storm was still on the screen. I didn't even think about taking her off. So, of course, she was like, she's all like talking and stuff. Not that people don't want. I keep getting email after email. I don't know about you guys, people. I want to know more about Karen. I want to hear Karen. I want to hear Karen's opinion. But
Yeah,
Karen's not exactly down to be a full-fledged part of the show visually yet. Someday, I'm feeling that that's possible. So anyway, so we're here to do preview. We're dabbling in a little bit of February for Mike's sake, right, Mike? Because you were all prepped and ready for February that never happened, right?
partially, yeah. Right, actually, yeah, I was, and then I just wrapped a bunch.
Yeah. Pat, did you have any February stuff?
I did not.
Yeah, me neither. So that'll be
Apparently have
all
it in
you.
March.
Okay. So that'll be mostly you, Mike, and that's what else I was going to mention is we've already foreseen the future. We're going to be changing the title from previous previews to what is it going to be, Pat?
Pre-order Pandemonium.
Wait, you were breaking up. Say that again.
I don't know. Pre-order Pandemonium.
Pre-order Pandemonium. Yeah, because probably anybody who's familiar with the previews guide, we don't know what the status of that's going to be for much longer. So we're dabbling in, and I'm starting in today's show too. I'm sure you guys are probably as well, with just pre-orders for 2 months from now in general, regardless of where we find it. Right, Mike?
Yeah, since we started this, I get it from probably 3 different sources.
No need to brag, Mike. Okay, we all aspire to find all this stuff you do.
I love looking for.
My general strategy, because in the wintertime, since I'm so broke, especially, it's not like I'm not broke the rest of the year, but I'm especially broke in the wintertime, is my strategy is the opposite. I don't look anywhere except for my pool box, and I'll just take those straight to the register.
Yeah.
And then I definitely not searching on the internet for 2 months from now. But I am ready to be doing that now, so I'm up first.
Well, real quick, the good thing is I was actually looking at my list, and I started to look at it like, okay, which of you guys would be interested in these? And I have one that I think both of you would be interested in. Now, if you're actually picking up, I don't know, but I think you both go, okay, yeah, I might want that. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I'm pretty sure Kevin would want.
Okay.
Sorry, Pat.
That's all right.
I'm a little bit easier than Pat is. He's a little bit more of what's the word? Acquired taste. He's got to be pleased in a specific way. I'm more of a simpleton, you know, when it comes to art and stories and all that good stuff, you know. So
I think I look at
only
Pat.
I'm allowed to say that, by the way. If you guys ever call me a simpleton, I'm going to be insulted. Okay.
Yeah. Throw it right back at you. But I think Pat's probably his library there is probably 90% superhero themed, whereas I think Kevin, yours could be maybe 75%, and then mine is probably 30. You know, as far as superhero percentages that we read.
I think
Maybe.
that I think Pat's probably. I don't know, Pat. What do you think of those percentages?
I'd probably lower it a little bit for me. I'd maybe say 80%.
And
Well,
I would
Yeah.
say maybe I'd go up a little bit
Okay.
for me.
Well, I was just
So
saying
80%
that
for
as I
both
was-
me and Pat. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
And I think you're a little bit higher too.
I don't know. I'll have to get my pull list and count.
Yeah, we need to calculate this
Yeah, we'll
sometime
do
because
that.
you reference this regularly, and I definitely see where you're going and agree with it in general. I just think it's not quite as skewed as you think it is.
No. 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to represent what we're discussing just to get out of the gate, okay?
Yep.
First up for me is Spider-Man and Wolverine.
See, I didn't pick this because I knew one of you guys would. Because you're
Well,
superhero.
Yeah, this is great for me on multiple levels. And I got a couple questions for y'all to help me find out too. I could have searched the internet, I'm sure, but I'm hoping you guys want to know. So one of my startup comic books way back in the day is Spider-Man and Wolverine, Spider-Man versus Wolverine, where, spoiler alert, but Spider-Man actually murders somebody because he thinks it's Wolverine. Do you guys remember Spider-Man versus Wolverine?
Yeah. I wouldn't say he murdered her. It was like
No, he murders her.
right, he killed her. There's a difference on how you do it.
Oh, okay, fair, okay, that's true. But he thought she was Wolverine.
Yeah.
So he was using his full power because, of course, Wolverine can take it. And it was just a regular old human and took her out. Do you remember that, Pat? Were you into Spider-Man versus Wolverine?
Yeah, I didn't like that book. I don't remember a lot about it, though. I just remember that there were the death and Spider-Man, killing somebody or accidentally or purposely. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was accidental. It was definitely accidentally. Mike's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be manslaughter then, Mike. That's what you're getting to.
There you
right?
go. Right.
Okay.
Involuntary. No, it was voluntary.
Or a woman slaughter. Anyway, that's one of my favorite books of all time. So that got me on that's one of the things that really got me going back in the day. So seeing this, totally took me back to that a little bit. So my first question is, before I talk about this a little bit, is this the first time there's been a Spider-Man and Wolverine book since then? Anybody recall?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so we're just going to say it is then, because that's the way I remember it as well. So got 3 comic book guys that have been into it for 30, 40 years now. So, if we don't know, who knows? Right, Pat?
That's right.
So anyway, I love this art too. I've grown fonder and fonder, more and more fond of, how's that say? Of Care Andrews. This is Care Andrews' cover. But then according to what I was reading too, he does the interiors too. So that was my next question for you all too. I thought Care Andrews was just a cover guy, one of those guys. But is he an interior art guy and I just was misled or misthinking or what?
Yeah.
He does a lot of interior art?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I don't know if maybe I'm familiar with his interior work too, and I just didn't know it. But anyway, this is available on May 21st. It's gonna have a $4.99 cover price. I don't know whether this is ongoing either. I tried to look for that, but this is number one. But it seems like it's a one shot, but I couldn't get any confirmation of that one way or another. I don't know whether you guys saw this and were checking it out or not. If you'd know that anyway.
I don't know. I saw it. Yeah, I definitely want to pick it up for those two reasons. I like the Wolverine Spider-Man is more appealing to me than Wolverine Deadpool. And yeah, the Care Andrews, his stuff is amazing. And Pat, he does painted covers as well, doesn't he?
Maybe.
I
Trying to
thought
think off
he
the top of
did.
my head.
Amazing Fantasy had like that 5-issue series.
Oh, yeah.
And those were just beautiful covers. So he's got two different styles, which I
Oh
really
yeah,
like.
those were awesome. I love those covers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So can you guys think of any interior work off the cuff what's he do, Pat?
Yeah, he did a Spider-Man series. He did an Iron Fist series.
Huh. Okay.
I don't remember what
Oh, that
else.
Iron Fist. I remember that. That was
Yeah.
really good.
Cool. Okay. All right, but that's my first one.
Actually, Kevin, I think Xcellar has those Iron Fist. Oh no, I think we just sold those, didn't we?
This is the one that was in a collection.
That was on eBay. I think we sold those. Yeah.
What's it called? Immortal.
Yeah. I think it was Mortal Iron Fist. Yeah, that was I think he wrote and drew that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think we sold it. I think it's gone. Like, it's like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It's been sitting there in the cabinet for like 2 years.
Man, my reader box for Xcellar is so huge anyway. It's not like I even need anymore.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, what you got?
You'll see a theme here moving forward for me. But the first thing I have is from Alien Books. This is the Art of Eduardo Riso hardcover. This is currently being kickstarted. There's about 10 days left. It's fully funded already, so no problems there. I'm sure there's lots of add-on things in the like $40, I think, is the base price for the main hardcover book. Don't have the number of pages written down. But yeah, if you're a fan of his work, this seems like a nice, classy collection. And I'm all about the art books, as you'll see here today.
I'm not familiar with him either, but that cover looks awesome.
Yeah, you probably are. You're just not realizing it. He was the artist on 100 Bullets. I think that's his most famous.
Yeah, I know that one. Okay. Yeah.
He didn't do the covers. Dave Johnson did all the covers for 100 Bullets, but he did all the interiors.
Is this cover indicative of his work where it's kind of dark and kind of flat or whatever like that?
Yeah, maybe I'd say so. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you looked for his name, you'd be like, oh, yep.
Yeah, I've always been one to admit to the fact that I don't recognize / remember names and art of art writers, and there's a very select few that I've logged in to remember. That's for sure. So you guys are awesome at that. So
all right. My first one here, I've got Welcoming Back, Something is Killing the Children, with issue number 41. Comes out on April 16th. It's been on kind of hiatus for a while. I wasn't sure what was going on with the series. Number 40 came out in August, and then they did a 0 issue in November. So here we're finally in April, 5 months later or so, getting issue 41. Where are we? Basically, we're going back in time, I guess, to everything, the events that led to issue number 1. So we've got 41 in April, but I went ahead and looked up issue 42 comes out May 21st. Those are the two covers there.
So maybe they're getting back on track to being timely, huh?
Yeah. Because I think the book was always on time. I just think they did the hiatus there to get the 0 issue out, and then.
And what's the spinoff of something that's killing children? What is it?
House of Slaughter.
Yeah, House of Slaughter. That hasn't skipped a beat, right?
I don't think so. I've stopped pulling that book. So I just in the world, this world, I only get this book now.
Okay.
So I just never got around to reading it. So I decided just if I wasn't reading it, I had to cut it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good policy.
Oh no, we lost Pat.
Seems he might have rebooted. He's on his way back.
All right. So yeah, there
All
you
right.
go. So he's killing children coming back.
All right, next up for me is my first Rivals reference of the day. Well, I'm totally conflicted every time I play Rivals with Jeff. Jeff the Land Shark. He was
I think that game has made him actually more popular than probably what any comic book would have.
Yeah, it seems like not having a whole lot of history. I'm gonna say it seems that way to me too, because here I am looking at Jeff in the previews guide, which literally prior to Rivals, I didn't know Jeff the Land Shark existed. So this is a perfect book for me. It seems this collects It's Jeff Infinity comic from 2021, numbers 25 through 36, and Jeff Week Infinity comic from 2024, numbers 1 through 5. So I guess this is a good collection for kind of people that aren't familiar with Jeff to get to know Jeff. So it's perfect for me. This is written by Kelly Thompson with art by Gustavo Duarte. This cover is by Guri Hiru. Sorry if I'm butchering. Man, I'm kind of the Saturday morning cartoon art is kind of appealing to me as of late too. I like the fun art. So.
Yep, I get it.
Did you know anything about Jeff prior to recently, Mike?
I saw him in passing here or there, but it was kind of leading up to Rivals. It wasn't like, what'd you say? The one book was 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no clue back in 2021. It was more recent. So,
okay.
Yeah, I missed the Jeff the Land Shark train.
That's what's crazy about it too. It's not only when it was the Infinity comic from 2021, numbers 25 through 36. So that means in 2021 it had a 36 issue run already. So it was obviously around since like 18, right? 19.
Well, he was only in those issues, I think.
Well, the title of it's Jeff though.
No, what 6-issue run was that?
It collects It's Jeff Infinity comic from 2021. I'm just reading it verbatim from the previous guy.
Okay.
So I'd assume the title of the book is It's Jeff, but I don't know.
You know what? It might have been a digital.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I've got a few things to say about that today as well. So okay.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? And yeah, I guess it really doesn't even matter now. Just Jeff's a hit, and here we are. So.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Pat's having technical.
Yeah, he just texted he's rebooting. So
okay. All right. It's funny that you bring up Saturday morning cartoons. This next one, I think both you and Pat might be interested in. We've got Giant Size Wacky Races one shot. Dynamite. So it's a 40-page book, and it's based on the Wacky Races TV series which aired from 1968 to 1970. And of course, we watched it probably in the late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah, very fun. Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I love the Linsner cover there, which is the A cover. And the Edwin Gallman, it's pretty nice. but I like Robert Hack's covers, so I'm probably going to try to get those too. And I'm glad this is a one shot because I don't think I would want an ongoing. But I'm definitely going to check out the one shot. So there you go. It's only $4.99 for $40 too, or 40 pages.
No, that's a deal. Yeah, and I'm sure they probably figured most people would be like you, one shot for a good nostalgia piece with some fun, but nothing to carry it for too long, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Muttley back there.
Yeah.
His laugh.
Yeah, I can hear him now. Yeah. Yeah. All right. This is gonna happen a couple times with me today. Basically because we missed February. This is Predator versus Spider-Man number 2.
Mhm.
Of course, I'm sure I would have put it on my list had we done February to have Predator versus Spider-Man number 1.
Yeah, but
I think I talked about this a little bit. They teased this whenever Predator versus. Did I say Spider-Man or Wolverine just now?
I don't know. I read Spider-Man. I may have heard Spider-Man.
I think I might have said Wolverine accidentally because I was going to say that they were teasing this a little bit when Predator versus Wolverine I was reading. So yeah, I'm down for this. You know, I thought the way they did Predator versus Wolverine was very clever with the whole time thing since Wolverine's 870 years old. But I don't know how they're going to do this with Predator versus Spider-Man, but I'm down. And this has a new Predator in it called Skinner.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks different.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
And of course, he's all on MJ right there. And I guess it's, you know, a Predator coming into Spidey's hood. This is going to be written by Ben Percy with Marcelo Ferrara. Ferrara artist is the artist. This covers a Paulo Sequeira. Sorry about the string name.
He did those Venom series.
Okay. This is going to be available. This issue, you know, I'm sure number 1's going to be available sometime in April. But this one's going to be available May 28th. This has a $4.99 cover price. So I'm be grabbing all these.
Very good. Still missing Pat. Next one is Lost Fantasy number 1. I put the 1 in 15 cover up there because you see with the trade dress and the way they had done it, you lose so much art. On what was
Yeah,
done.
yeah, definitely.
They
I don't like that trade dress either. The trade dress is too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes up, like, if I didn't see the 1 in 15, I never would have realized how much art you're losing. So yeah, kind of they redo that trade dress. But this sounds pretty cool. There's a world of magic, myth, and monsters that exists beneath the surface of our own. Since first contact was made over 100 years ago, the great hunters have kept us safe from the creatures that lurk in the shadows. But last night, something broke through, and it's up to rookie monster hunter Henry Blackheart to stop it. So that sounds pretty cool.
That does. I like that a lot.
Yeah, this is one that I circled that you would probably be interested in as well. And there's some variant covers there.
Oh, I like that Jay Lee one the best.
That Jay Lee one's nice.
Yeah.
It's a 1 in 50 though. So
Oh yeah. Gotta wait for that to be on the discount.
yeah,
Get on discount price.
Get it on sale. Yep. So there you go. April 30th. Lost Fantasy number 1.
Hey, this reminds me of a side topic. You know the lady that was so famous? I think she was one of the first people that went out and documented wild animals. She was the ape lady.
Oh, what was her name? Jane.
Yeah, Jane something. Yeah, you're doing good, Mike. Keep going. What is it?
Why is Jane Fossey in my head? But I don't think that was her.
Yeah, that last name doesn't sound right. But anyway, so the lady that went out and documented, she lived with chimpanzees for a real long time, and
Yeah, Jane
became
Goodall.
yeah, Jane Goodall, that's it, yeah. And became the aficionado of obviously apes and stuff.
Right.
And was she the first one to do that kind of, what is that called? It's not a documentary. What's that called? It's where they do those films where they track all animals and the whole thing. Is it a documentary? I don't know.
I mean, it probably falls under that category, but like
It's got a special name, right?
yeah.
So anyway, the reason I'm bringing her up because I just heard recently that this week sometime, as a matter of fact, she's actually a Bigfoot believer.
Oh, nice. I'm a fan even more now.
I know. That's why I thought I'd mention it to you. And she's obviously a very serious scientific thinker, so there it puts some more merit that Bigfoot might exist.
Yeah, her name attached to the belief in Bigfoot, I think that brings some, like I said, some merit to it.
Yeah. And then one of her things too is all of the different Bigfoot sightings and special are on different continents, and they have different names. Like there's the Yeti, which is basically a Bigfoot in the snow. And did you know there's an Australian Bigfoot? I can't even remember the name right now, but there's an Australian Bigfoot because they've had sightings of Bigfoot type creatures in Australia that they gave it an Australian name.
Yeah, and that's where I've thought
in China, stuff like that.
Yeah, you've got all of these civilizations over the world, and you go back, 1,000 years, and they all have in their lore creatures that resemble. And this is back before there was there was no way people in different parts of the world were communicating with each other, and they all have the same creatures in their lore. So that's why I give it some merit. And also I say, what's the harm in believing in Bigfoot?
Right, exactly.
There's fun in believing in Bigfoot.
It is fun. Yep.
So don't be a party pooper. Believe.
Yeah, right. All right. So next up for me.
Is it a Bigfoot book that I missed?
No. You just remind me because that first cover for Lost Fantasy.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
Oh, Karen's sending a text that she's 90 years old now. Honestly, Karen, I thought she had already left this plane of existence. Good for her. She's still trucking. All right, this one, I played a little bit of the game of, picking some books for other people today. I've got a couple of them, and this is my first one. This is the Revenge of the Sith 25th anniversary special hardcover. This is, I'm going to probably grab this for Maximus. He's totally a big Hayden Christensen, Darth Vader, Anakin fan. And we're planning on actually going to see episode 3 when it re-releases in theaters in April, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Marcus is going. I'm going. You're going. Hopefully Max can be home.
Yeah, he's supposed to be home by then for a bit. So I've wanted these, kinds of books even more as I've gotten older. What makes this one appealing too, obviously, like I said already, it's a hardcover, but this is only $19.99.
That's a really great price.
Yeah. So, and I think this is a Star Wars Insider, the magazine, publication, so I've got a ton of those. So this should be cool. So, but I'm probably going to gift this to Max once I grab. Right. I'll get what I need out of it pretty quick and then pass it along. So.
All right. Next up, a book that I'm really looking forward to. Pastime. Now, number 1 comes out April 2nd, so it was last month's solicitations. Number 2 is May 14th, and this is a 5-issue miniseries. The synopsis here: Henry Hayes could have been the best baseball player anybody ever saw if only his dark affliction didn't prevent him from playing in the daylight. But when the barnstorming circuit introduces a new novelty to the game, night baseball under the bright lights, will his dreams of playing pro ball finally be realized? So, as we can tell there, I'm guessing he's a vampire. So this
Seems
is
like-
crazy. It's
Yeah,
a baseball vampire book.
interesting.
And I love the covers. The artwork looks great. So this one's kind of neat for me.
Isn't pastime one word?
I think it's past time is the way I read it instead of like what do you do in the pastime? Past.
Well, no. Here's a sentence for you. Baseball is a beloved
Pastime.
pastime. Yeah, I thought it was one word. Karen, is it one word or two? What say you? Karen says one word too.
Well, I'm seeing what the comic book says.
The comic book says it's two.
Yes.
Karen, that's way too small. I can't see that. Just,
And the baseball in the center kind of breaks it for me, so that's why.
yeah, I know. I'm not really trying to give you a hard time. I'm actually wondering it myself because you split it. That you could be right. This brings me back to a memory that I have between you and I specifically because I remember us being driven crazy by our English teacher. But this is one of those Mandela effects, in my opinion, because even you disagree with me now. But on the word "a lot," you say it's two words, right?
Yes.
Okay. But you don't remember our English teacher giving us such a hard time because he made us write it as one word.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. So I don't know whether you remember having this conversation before, but this
Mhm.
comes up time to time. It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's not a lot, which I understand a lot is a defining,
Yeah.
numeration, for lack of a better way to describe it. I don't know how to describe it correctly, but a lot makes way more sense to me. A lot as one word. And
We
I
have a group of things. It's called
a lot.
a
Lot, right.
lot.
I get you.
A
I'm tracking.
cup.
I'm tracking completely. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I have no idea whether pastime's one word or two. You just made me think about it with it having it broke up there. So
Yeah. The way this is being solicited and everything, it's two words. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm excited about it.
all right, cool. That would be one I'd borrow from you if I'd get the time to read it.
Yep.
Okay, next up for me, I've got Medieval Spawn. Who knew? I didn't. Did you, Mike?
No.
I feel like if you would have known too, you would have passed this on to me too. So I was like, "What? Medieval Spawn's back?"
Well, McFarlane's really expanding the Spawn universe and the books that's coming out.
Yeah, this is what and this is funny too. I decided not too long ago, and I've mentioned on the show a few times that I'm tapering down my collection. So the only Spawn I'm getting is the main title. But I'm like, but I still want to get all the old medieval Spawns because I don't even have all the old medieval Spawns. So now I got new medieval Spawns to get. But the good thing about this is only a 4-issue series.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this is a Jonathan Uribe variant. This cover. I don't know much about it other than the fact that obviously I would have put number 1, which I'm sure comes out in April again on this list had we done a previous last month. Yep. But yeah, this comes out May 21st, $3.99 cover price. Definitely excited about this. Doesn't he look like Optimus Prime there too a little bit? Doesn't he give you that feel, Optimus Prime feel?
No, it's funny. I get a Batman feel if I saw a silhouette with and coming up as mask.
Yeah, I see that actually too. I think it's the red that made me go Optimus, but yeah, he definitely looks cool there. That's for sure. He's always been my second favorite Spawn. That's for sure. So
yeah, it looks cool.
all right.
All right, this one is right up. I'm thinking it's right up your alley because as we were talking before the show, you love the 80s.
I do.
Robo Wolf. This is number 1 and 2.
Robo.
Yeah, May 21st for number 1, June 18th for number 2. Jake Smith writes and draws it. So Robo Wolf is an over-the-top ode to the retro games and media of the 80s and 90s. Fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Final Fight, and RoboCop won't want to miss this series. So there you go, Kevin. Pre-order Robo Wolf 1 and 2 because I have.
Man, where'd you find this?
It's a Dark Horse book.
Yeah, I know, but where specifically did you see it? Because my Dark Horse solicitations on the previous website for the catalog, the only thing it had was a Tomb Raider statue. It didn't even have any comment. I'm like, what the heck? You know?
Yeah, like I said, I use multiple sources, and I think this one I go through League of Comic Geeks.
Oh yeah,
and I'll go all the way up to the month, and I'll just pull up every release and I'll scroll through and look at everything.
Yeah,
it's
that's
very
totally
time consuming though.
Yeah. Well, fun though. So you know,
absolutely.
But yeah, this is totally something I'd grab. That's for sure.
Yeah, this looks fun.
Got all the pastel coloring indicative of the 80s too, like that.
Yeah, the color palette, the art style,
yeah,
vans, everything. Yeah,
I don't really like on the A cover how the Robo's written though. I'm sure it's trying to be like whatever with making it backwards like that. But I actually thought it was Road Wolf when I looked at the left.
Yeah, and actually that's issue number 1. That's issue 1 and 2 right there.
Oh, I thought that was A and B. Okay, that's
no, there are no
variants
that I've seen so far.
All right, cool. All right, Pat's back. You're up, Pat. Go.
Pat, it's your turn for like 10 minutes.
Oh boy, it's like
everything good now? You good?
Who knows? You know, it's like, hey, we're just gonna install some updates here while we're at it. You know.
Hey, I use that excuse.
I know. It's like I'm getting the updates that were set for you last Monday. All right. So who's 90 years old? That's what I need to know.
Jane Goodall.
Okay.
Gorillas in the Mist.
Yeah, it's the movie.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was.
Oh, wait. No, Karen's like, no.
Karen, you weren't talking about she's 90? Did I?
No, Gorillas in the Mist was not Jane Goodall.
Oh.
Well, who was Gorillas in the Mist? Were there 2 monkey ladies? Sorry, that did.
Did you hear what we said though, Pat? She's a Bigfoot believer.
Diane Fossey. See? So I was close. Remember, I said Jane Fossey, and then we realized it was Jane Goodall.
Hold on. The people need to know: was Diane Fossey the Gorillas in the Mist lady, or was she the chimp lady that? No, it's definitely Jane Goodall that believes in Bigfoot, though.
Right. Diane Fossey is Gorillas in the Mist.
Ah, okay.
I had both of the women combined with Jane Fossey.
Jane Fossey, you're a savant, Mike. You're a ape documentary.
No. You left out the idiot part. Yeah. Or I could just be a Sigourney Weaver fan.
Yeah, that's she played her in the movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Karen's confirming.
Right.
We have to play a little bit of charades with Karen's fact checking because we can't hear anything. It'd be nice if she could. We got subtitles for Karen's little screen in our background here. So. Hi, Pat.
Okay.
Sorry. What do you got now that you have your answer about the ape lady?
Okay, now I'll be pulling out all these ones that you guys have already gone over. Probably, I figured this would be a good one for you, Kevin. The Art of Judge Dredd
Oh, nice.
by Jock. Not showing up on my screen. That's nice.
It's on ours. We can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
This is a $45 hardcover, 176 pages, sort of a retrospective of all of Jock's time doing 2000 AD / Judge Dredd work. So yeah, if you're a fan of his and especially a fan of his Judge Dredd work, this might be for you.
Yeah, that's definitely up my alley. Obviously, I'm a big Judge Dredd fan. I've just recently started to appreciate Jock, so I wasn't even aware that it was Jock doing Judge Dredd back in the day, which I've also just recently started collecting the older Judge Dredd issues. So I probably have some of the Jock Judge Dredd, and I didn't even realize it. Awesome.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I did not see this. That's awesome. Definitely wasn't mentioned yet either. So very cool.
Yep.
All right, next up for me, I've got another one of my classic favorites of all time. Reference Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. This is a continuation of the original Wolverine and Kitty Pryde limited series from, what was that, like
84.
80, I was gonna say 85, yeah, somewhere around there, but which I loved. Obviously my appreciation and fondness for Kitty Pryde is directly stemmed from Wolverine's appreciation and fondness of Kitty Pryde. So I love that series a lot. And like I said, this is a continuation with Chris Claremont writing it, which obviously makes it even better. And the art is by Damian Cicero. Yeah, sorry. The cover is this cover is a Nicoletta Baldari cover. This is a variant. I didn't like the A cover near as much as I like this one, although the coloring on this one I don't care for too much, but it is Kitty Pryde, so you got that definitely makes me not mind it, that's for sure. But yeah, this continues the original story. This has a really cool new samurai in it too. Looks just like Silver Samurai to me, but it's the Snow Samurai, Mike. So
Yeah,
he's he's gonna be cool. Yeah, this drops on May 28th, but again, this is number 2. So again, I'm sure the number 1 comes out in April. $3.99 cover price. That's it.
Yep. Did you want to go between us, Pat?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, this is where you going to get Robo Wolf, Pat?
I didn't even see Robo Wolf. Oh, is it Robo or Road Wolf?
Yeah, it's Robo.
Yeah, we talked about that. Isn't that weird how they made that B on the number 1 backward?
Yeah.
So it looks
the
like
number 2, it looks good, but the number 1, it's got that break. So maybe it was going to be called Road Wolf, and they changed it and just didn't change the.
That's weird.
Solicitation or something, but yeah. All right. Next one I want to point out is Our Army. That's always a tongue twister for me. Our Army at War 151 facsimile. This is the first appearance of Enemy Ace and Black Wolf. Comes out May 21st. You can get this in just a standard cover, or they have a foil cover. The next appearance of Enemy Ace was 2 issues later in 153. I just wanted to point that out if you're an Enemy Ace fan. So I pre-ordered this one. I think it's a little out of my price range. I think you can probably get low quality covers for or copies for like $80 or something, but I'll spend $4 and get the regular effectively.
This might be the first and only time you ever hear me say this, but I'm not so sure I'd like this as a foil.
Yeah, I a lot of times what I'm doing is on the facsimiles, I'm getting the foil version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I didn't. I agree with you.
Yeah, just doesn't. It's not a good foil fit. Yeah, this would definitely be something I'd like to grab as well, though.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, very nice.
All right. Next up for me, we've talked about Clover Press a lot. They've probably done about 6 Marvel art books for various artists. Now they're going to do some DC stuff. So we have the DC art of Jorge Jimenez. This is very early on. It's not even up on Kickstarter yet. I think he himself put it out there on social media that it's coming. So I'd look for it in the next month or so to hit Kickstarter. But they do their books look super nice. I don't have any of them personally yet, but they have the cool foil edge, gilded edge papers and stuff like that. Just makes for a really nice presentation. And from what I've seen of the interiors, they look really cool too. And they do all kinds of tiers. They do, portfolios usually and stickers, and they even started doing like card sets recently. So it's something to keep your eye out for, especially now they're doing DC stuff too. Clover Press is the art of Jorge Jimenez. No price yet, because like I said, it hasn't been officially put up on Kickstarter.
Yeah. I like that when Jonathan Kent was that age, that whole Super Sons era and stuff.
Yeah. All right. This would be one that I could see Pat getting on. Maybe got a crossover for Pat. I've got Alien versus Avengers. Isn't this cool, Pat?
We'll see. Let's hear about it.
This is another one. It wasn't on my radar. This is issue 4. So I don't know how I missed, because I'm assuming one would have been in January or December. January would have been because I didn't know this was out at all. Were you aware of this at all, Pat?
I don't think so. No.
I like this cover. This is cool. But this is the Avengers fight aliens on Mars with twisted machinations of Mr. Sinister. And the X-Men are on Mars right now. So I don't know whether they're also part of this or not. But this is written by Jonathan Hickman with art by Assad Ribic.
Mm-hmm.
I think that art's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's going to be in Baltimore this year.
Yeah?
Yep. He's trying to figure out which books to take.
Yeah, so I need to be grabbing this too. So
yep.
I don't have much more information, or I don't have any more information than that, Pat. Doesn't that sound cool?
Yeah. I'm kind of interested if Hickman's writing it. That seems I'm surprised actually that he'd be involved in like a media crossover book like this, but maybe he's a big Aliens fan. I don't know. He's not my favorite artist. So yeah, that I don't know. I check it out, but
okay.
I'm gonna wait for Kevin's review.
Yeah. It's like we've talked about this a lot. Aliens isn't my favorite, okay, but what I'm getting at is I oftentimes have a hard time when movie and television franchises come to comic books. They often leave me sort of cold.
Yeah, you have mentioned that. Yeah.
So that's sort of like we got all this Godzilla, King Kong stuff coming up. We've got there was an Avengers Ultraman series which I am reading. There's one more issue left. It's okay, but I just always feel like they're not capturing all the essence of the movie or TV property all the time 100%.
Yeah, I definitely get that feeling as well too. Although I do feel like they do get it right sometimes. So I'm I'm always more than willing to give it a shot like that. Yeah. All right, Mike.
All right. I'm going to pass on getting this one. I'll just wait for your review because I'm buying this one. Far Down Below. That's issue number 2 on the left because I missed the solicitation for number 1. 5-issue miniseries. Chris Condon, who wrote, what was it? That Texas Blood, I think. A couple other cool Western books. So in the summer of 1983, teen friends Mike and Brian seek to escape from rainy day boredom by exploring Brian's abandoned family home, a notoriously haunted house. What they find below their sleepy eastern Pennsylvania suburb will unlock doors to adventure and danger. I really like the possible astronaut there on issue number 2. It's like, what's going on there? And I like the Francavilla cover, the variant there. So I pre-ordered this one, one of those teenagers in 1983 mystery horror type of thing. That's my cup of tea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. This is one I'd borrow off you to check out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's that seems actually kind of interesting to me. Do a review, Mike.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
All right, Pat.
Yeah. Next up, I have from Dark Horse 10,000 Ink Stains, a memoir hardcover. This is a $50 hardcover, 192 pages. This is basically like a retrospective of Jeff Lemire's career. By him, it's sort of it seems very unique. He goes through his career, talks about books he's done, his life at the time when he was doing the books, with behind the scenes artwork and script stuff, for all the different companies and books he's worked on. Just seems kind of like a unique thing. So if you're a big fan of Jeff Lemire, this seems like something you might want to check out.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did I miss that? I get his
Substack newsletter.
Substack newsletter. Unless I read it and just forgot.
Yeah.
I need to have that. I need that. I'm glad you brought that up.
You ever met Jeff Lemire, Pat?
What about him, Kevin? Sorry.
Have you ever met him?
No, I have not.
Because I know me and Mike met him. That's why I was asking you in particular. Yeah.
I wish I would have talked to him more.
Yeah, so do I. But that's what I was going to say to him. He seemed very quiet, for lack of a better. He didn't. I felt because he didn't have a line at the time too. It was just me and you in front of this table.
Well, yeah. What was funny? I don't know if you remember this. Like his table was here. Adam Hughes' table was behind him here, and Adam's line came past. It was like this, and we kind of walked up to Jeff's table, and you're like, "Is this your line?" And he was just like, no.
I mean, he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. He just was very, and seemed like an introvert, quiet kind of guy. So he wasn't a big controversial, because I did my typical, make little jokey, intros or whatever, and it didn't seem like he was feeling it much. So basically, the reason I'm bringing it up is his art really matches what I figure his personality is. You know what I mean? So, which I like. It's definitely different. So I like it.
Yeah, I was too busy pulling out huge library editions and
right. That's what I was gonna say. Of course, I only know about him because of Mike. Yeah, right.
I always feel bad for those guys at conventions that have a super popular artist right across from them, right beside them, and their lines are always just blocking their tables.
Yeah.
They should plan a little better for those people.
Yeah. I would love for him to make his way back to Baltimore again. It would definitely my interaction with him would be a lot different.
All right, next up for me, I have where's it at? I thought it was an order here. All right, I've got Star Wars, Jedi Knights. This is number 3. Again, another one I didn't realize existed. And I'm pretty sad about it because I definitely, well, I don't know how sad. I'll see how sad I am about it once I see how hard it is to get number 1. Hopefully, because number 1 will be out this month, I think. Because this is number 3. This will be out May 14th. This cover is very cool. This is written by Mark Guggenheim with art by Madabek Musabekov. This is a cover by Raza.
Ooh.
Incidentally, I forgot to mention that Mark Guggenheim's writing the Spider-Man Wolverine as well. But so this stars Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan battling on a planet full of giant monsters to save Senator Bail Organa. So this is all, new classic stories. Does that make sense? So it's got it hits all the right buttons for me. And this is a variant cover too. I like this one better than the A cover as well. Didn't have them both to put up, but then there's another one too. I wanted to show this one for Tyler's sake because I'd imagine he'd want to get this one because Qui-Gon's his boy. But there's another one, which that one's very cool as well.
Yeah.
But I really and this one's by Torrin Clark as well. But yeah, I really like this Raza cover a lot. And giant titans fighting Jedi. That's me. That's me. I'll take it, please. Thank you. Yeah.
The last series after this, I have for the cover. Sorry, thought I was talking. We've got Blood and Thunder #1 comes out in May. Written by Benito Sereno, but the story is Robert Kirkman. So with that Kirkman name attached to it, it should be pretty fun. Who knows what kind of crazy things he'll do in the series, but set in a far future where Earth has integrated alien species into a new society, Blood and Thunder plays by a whole new set of rules and a whole load of new crimes to solve. Bounty hunter Akeldama, can't even say her name right, Bledsoe, and her cantankerous talking gun Thunder are the best there is at bringing in the bad guys.
Oh man, Talking Gun. That reminds me of that video game that was out recently.
So EJ Sue does the artwork on the interiors. There's his A cover, David Lopez there, and then some ratio variants, Andy Tong with 1:10 and Bernard Chang with the 1:25. So this one's just another Kirkman book. Could be fun.
So how's this work? Does Andy or does Kirkman sit down with Benito and he's like, "Hey, dude, here's the story." He just gives him the plot, and then Benito runs with writing the whole thing. Is that how that plays out whenever you have a story and written by two different people?
That's the way I envision it. I don't know 100% how things break down. I'm sure different guys do it differently, but that's the way I do it. It's like, hey, they probably work on characters and general plot points throughout, and then the writer Benito does the all the writing and probably runs it past Kirkman, and they probably adjust things here and there. But yeah,
is that how you figure it works, Pat?
Like Mike said, it probably differs from creative team to creative team, but it's probably the bare bones explanation of it. Yeah.
I think probably Benito does the heavy lifting on all the writing, but Kirkman's the general. I think probably kind of the way McFarlane runs his Spawn stuff, because he doesn't write everything. Right. A lot of times he's got story there, so he probably says, "Hey, this is the direction I want you to go," and there you go.
Yeah.
So
Do you guys know about that video game where there was a talking gun? He was a real smart aleck with a he had a mouth on him too. It
I
was
don't
out
recall.
recent. Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
I wish I could remember the name of it right now. It's a sci-fi something planets. Anyway. All right, Pat. Sorry.
This is a little different. This is from Dynamite. This is where is it here? Stitch. Ohana Means Family hardcover. It's $15. It's 64 pages. This is by Denise Shimabukuro. Sorry about that, Denise. She grew up in Hawaii. She worked in the animation field for years. Eventually got a job with Disney. And she's using the Stitch characters to write this little story about family and her growing up in Hawaii. The artwork looks really great, as you might expect from somebody who worked in the animation field. So I feel like it's fairly cheap, fairly reasonable. If you are a big Stitch fan and you like that animated style artwork, the audience seems to love it. I know there's a lot of Stitch fans out in the audience today.
Yeah.
Stick around for be sure to tune into the main comics and collectibles in the crawl space. I have some Stitch stuff on the horizon for you there, which if you are a stringent viewer of our show, you've already seen that now that you're watching previews today.
Yeah, right. All right. So I'm getting into for the next one, and these kind of connect, and I've got a little story as well. So this is the Energon Universe #1 2025 special, which seems very strange to me because there was an Energon Universe #1 2024 special. So why isn't this #2, Mike? The people want to know, okay?
Because it's like an annual 2024, 2025.
I know, I'm just kidding, but you know,
Yeah, me
could've been
too.
#2.
I knew you knew.
Anyway, the story I've got with this is kind of weird. And it's partially has to do with, I hope I help some people out, but other people might be thinking, of course, Kevin, you're being dumb. Why didn't you know this? Because I was in a local comic shop the week before last, and it wasn't mine with my pool box, so I was just random. I was actually in there trying to get bags and boards, and then got all wrapped up in a conversation with the owner that was in the shop at the time about a completely different thing, which is Space Core, which I'll definitely talk about that soon in the future too, which I've talked about in the past. But that's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is the Energon Universe, and G.I. Joe was on the table 1 through 3. And G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero, I think it was like 359, I believe, through 361. So obviously G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero, is the ongoing title that isn't related to the Energon Universe, but the Energon Universe is way bigger than I was thinking it was at this point. How long ago did we start talking about the Energon Universe with Duke and Cobra Commander when all that came out? That was just like last summer, right? Am I remember?
I think it was. I would guess October of 23.
Oh, really?
Remember, we did the Get Together live show, and we reviewed Transformers #1.
Oh, that's right. See, nice. That's true.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, it hadn't seemed that long to me because they're in year 3 now with all these Energon Universe crossovers. There is so many. Just to I captured a few of them. So this has Transformers, of course, G.I. Joe, of course, Void Rivals. And yeah, Transformers is on number 20. G.I. Joe's on number 7. Void Rivals on number 19. And then, of course, they've had all the one-shots with Scarlet and Destro and Cobra Commander and Duke. And, oh, actually, Scarlet wasn't a one-shot. Neither was Destro or Duke. Yeah, they're...
I think those are like miniseries. Like
Oh, yeah, they're all miniseries. That's right. Okay, so, yeah, sorry. Thanks, Eddie. Sorry. But anyway, this is so huge now. And the other thing, too, is... I don't know exactly what's happening regarding the Energon universe and live action movies too, because if you remember my review of Transformers Rise of the Beasts, the latest Transformers installment, they have a teaser trailer at the end of that movie where the kid that's been fighting the Transformers during the entire movie, or fighting with the Transformers during the entire movie, meets up with someone from G.I. Joe. So it seems to be crossing over with live action movies. So, man, it's so huge. And the reason I mentioned when I stopped by randomly at this other LCS is because I grabbed those 1 through 3 thinking, I'm on, it's 1 through 3. I'm getting on early. And I read and reviewed Duke. Man, but I totally flaked on the fact that there's so much more if I want to be in that I need to get.
Yeah.
The only ones I'm really interested in is G.I. Joe and Void Rivals anyway. So I'm hoping something like this would kind of catch you up. You know what I'm saying, for lack of a better way to describe it,
Yeah.
Kind of cover where we are, where we've been through everything, so... Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Energon Universe #1 2025 special.
All right. Well, I have a bunch of Void Rivals. I stopped getting the series.
Oh yeah, I'd love to grab those.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got reprints, second print, third printing, connecting covers. I was going crazy, and then it just became too much.
I didn't give too much detail on this either, besides for my randomness. So this is a special new printing of the Free Comic Book Day 2025 special. It's got 3 new stories, starring all the the major players that I talked about. Of course, Kirkman's involved with Void Rivals. Daniel Warren Johnson is the writer of Transformers, and Andrea Milana is the G.I. Joe writer, which I also thought this was crazy too. Random confusingness. This cover is by Milana Lowridge, which it says Milana there in the top right corner of this cover, but that's referencing Andrea Milana.
Wow.
Imagine having 2 creators with the same name, spelled the same way, but one's the first name, one's the last name.
That's great.
Yeah. And this is out May 14th. This is $3.99 cover price. So anyway, that's it. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to spend more of your money here.
All right.
So these are, I think, more miniseries. I don't know if they're miniseries or one shots. I just like these variants. So these are G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero, Beachhead #1, Jinx #1, Spirit #1, Roadblock #1, and Duke #1. And at the bottom is the regular Jorge Fornes variant, and at the top is the connecting cover variant set that I just think is so fantastic.
Oh man, that is very cool.
So there you've got to get 2. You've got to get the G.I. Joe connecting, and then for the full art, you have to get another whole cover.
Yeah, and I like them both on every single one of them as well. That is cool.
Yeah. So there you go. And you have to look. I don't know if these are one shots or not. I should have looked into that.
Man, Star Wars did the same thing to me too. I mean, well, I said did, like they aren't continuing to do it, but yeah, they have obviously their ongoing titles. Then they have, all kinds of spin-off ongoing titles. Then they throw out these one-shots that are just character focused, which that's what I'm assuming these probably are. So I think you're probably right with these being one-shots. They kind of tell a separate story either prior to the current events or something like that, so or something that happened off in the distance you weren't even aware of. But
and there's the release dates, once a week through April.
Daggum. All right. Fine.
Yeah. We got that.
My last art book of the day. Hopefully this is. I think this is family friendly. I should have looked at it closer because he goes.
Oh,
down,
jeez.
he goes down some roads. He draws a lot of pretty girls. This is the Inked Girls of Jeremy Fleury. I've followed his work for quite a while. This is sort of it's not Kickstarter. I forget the name of the website that he comes through. But he's an artist out of France, and I think this is his second crowdfunded book. His art style is just right up my alley. And the first art book, well, all his art books have been cool, but the last one he did through crowdfunding was very nicely done, and I assume no different here. The cover's really cool. It's like this gold foilish looking cover, and it's like the only thing I don't like about it is the flipping aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
But that's okay.
it's kind of like the previews guide. I hate that about the previews guide as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it you know when you do the currency conversion, it comes out to be like $40 shipped from France.
Oh, that's not bad.
So yeah, and of course, like all crowdfunded things, there's all kinds of tiers to get like signed editions and extra add-ons with prints and things like that. So this is I didn't do it yet. I didn't do it yesterday because I was time crunch, but I'll probably get on the pre-order because it just started yesterday. I just went up for crowdfunding pre-order, whatever you want to call it, yesterday. So I'll probably jump on that.
So this is just a book of covers.
Not covers, just his artwork.
Oh, just
Like-
so okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like pinup artwork. I didn't realize it was going to be when I pulled this image. I thought, man, that's a good because it shows a lot of representation.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
his artwork, but it's unfortunately kind of small and you can't really see it in really.
Well,
good
no, all the ones in this representation look like they could be covers. You know, so I didn't.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they're
And is this Inked Girls? Is this a regular ongoing comic now?
no,
Or
it's just like a collection.
it's just
I think,
art.
yeah, it says. I think it says from 2018 to 2024. It's like all his inked pinup work that he's done over those years. So
Yeah, that's cool. All right. Speaking of gold foil covers, next up for me, I've got Codename G.I. Joe. Is that Beckett or Wayne?
That's Beckett.
What's Wayne's bark like anyway?
It's actually getting pretty good. It's
Is it?
still that high pitched puppy thing,
Bark.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so
He's like
this is-
outside around the corner. That's how deep his bark is.
he means it. So okay, this is Codename G.I. Joe, book number 1. This is a hardcover, and so this is called a spot foil, which is the first time I ever heard that, but totally makes sense. Where spots of the cover are foil, you can kind of put together which spots those probably are on this cover, but the whole thing's not foil. This is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Tom Riley. This is experiencing the epic origin of G.I. Joe and Cobra like you've never seen them before in the Energon universe. So this was the other thing that struck me about this with the Energon universe. Obviously, I was thinking the Energon universe wasn't as old as I thought it was originally, of course. But then secondly, yeah, apparently the Energon universe is so huge, we're starting to write books that'll give you origins that you didn't even get when the Energon universe started, which, again, if I'm going to be in on this, I'm for this as well. So I'm going to grab this. And this comes out. This actually doesn't come out till June. This comes out June 11th. And I'm all about foil, and I think the spot foils are pretty cool.
Yeah.
What would you call it a spot? Because we've definitely had covers back in the day that were partially foil, But are you guys familiar with spot foil? Is this me just being naive again? Is that have you heard the term spot foil in the past that I haven't?
Yeah, because they use it. There's another when they do that, the glossy with the matte finish. What's that one, Pat? That's another spot term. Anyway,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
but yeah.
But I feel like we've definitely had this kind of cover before. You know, it just didn't have a fancy term to attach to it. You know, but anyway, you know, so I think it's cool. They're cool. They're cool is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The gimmick. I'm a sucker for a good gimmick.
Whoops, where am I? All right. These I'm on the for the cover portion. Wolverine number 8 variant by Daniel Warren Johnson. You guys know how much I like arrows sticking into things, especially Logan.
And aliens.
Yeah, I think this one's fantastic. Big fan of Daniel Warren Johnson. And then the Usagi Yojimbo 10,000 Plums number 2, Eric Talbot 1 and 10. You know how much I like foxes. And the cross fox, which I don't know if you've ever heard of a cross fox, is probably my favorite fox. And it's actually a color variant of a red fox. And that's what they look like in real life.
Wow.
So I'm assuming that on the cover there is a cross fox.
That looks like trouble. That looks like an animal that's just trying to suck you in with its cuteness to get you close enough to do nefarious things to your appendages.
Foxes. Yeah, it's a red fox with the color variant. They're very rare. They look great. So that's what kind of drew me to that Soggy Jimbo cover. I was like, oh, look.
Did you say, ooh, look, a cross fox to yourself?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You know about fox variants, Mike.
I know about the cross fox.
Daggum. Does this references as a cross fox in the book too? Do you know?
Oh, I have no clue.
It's like Usagi and his cross fox buddy go on an adventure.
Well, there's a fox character in there, but I think
that's what I mean. I wonder if it references directly as the cross fox, or it's just the artistic, choice of making it those colors. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's cool. That's great. That's great.
We have like sort of a Goofy and Pluto situation going on there.
Right.
My last thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just catching up to what you're saying.
My last thing is also for the cover. And yeah, hopefully you didn't talk about it because when I was on my way out, I heard you talking about Jeff from Marvel Rivals. And these are the J. Scott Campbell variant covers that are going out for pre-order today.
Kevin's broke. We spent more money.
These are variants for Rivals number 1, I believe. They're exclusive to J. Scott Campbell's website, I believe, also.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And it only gets worse, Kevin. Cover A is the Psylocke cover. It is a print run of 3,000, and so it's the most printed cover, and it goes for $30.
Jeez.
And then the only way you can get the other ones are in sets. You either have to get an AB set, an AC set, or an AD set, and those sets are $66.50 a piece, or you can get all of them for $142.50.
Someone's just, when they're sitting there doing all this, okay, well, you have to get the AC and then the AB. They're just being a jerk. That's a jerk move.
Yeah, that's Psylocke.
So you're going to end up with what? 1, 2, 3 cover A's and 1 B, C, and D. I would just crinkle it up and throw it back in their face. Here's your cover A's.
These are so awesome. Look, there's Jeff.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a Luna Snow fan, but that's yeah, especially with Jeff in there because they have a good team up, you know. So, and you know what, Speaking of, I mean, rivals, Squirrel Girl. She's cool in the Rivals, and she's got some good voice lines too. I think what you guys should do prior. Well, maybe not prior because hopefully in the get together, what we talked about happens. We actually play Rivals because the voice lines and then the interaction of the voice lines too in the game is so much fun. Aside for how much fun the game is, and the art's just great. These are great representations. This is exactly how they look in the game too. These are great representations, So yeah, I want all these. Man, I can't believe I didn't see the. Oh, you saw these in just searching randomly because these wouldn't have been in the previous. This is J. Scott Campbell website exclusive, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Dang. All right. Yeah, I want all those. All Rivals number one. I'm gonna have so many copies of Rivals number one probably. Hey, I just want to chime in because Karen. This was a bit ago. Karen does some. Fact-checking background research for us. The name of the video game where the talking gun was called High on Life. Just so you know. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it. All right, this is actually my last book prior to me getting into, for the first preview ever, getting into some cover. I started to jump on the, hey, these covers are cool bandwagon. This is the last one for me prior to me getting into that. And I wasn't even aware of this. We mentioned this briefly earlier, Mike. So this is the Adventures of Spawn trade paperback. This collects number 1 and number 2. This is from 2007, 2008. And I didn't know about it. And again, I like these kind of Saturday morning cartoonish kind of stuff. I like the Marvel actions with Spider-Man and Miles and Venom. I like all these, like Dungeons and Dragons. That's obviously already a Saturday morning cartoon book. But, I like all this kind of Saturday morning cartoony for is that really a defining factor of what it looks like? It seems like it is to me. I like all of these. So when I saw this with Spawn being like this, I was like, cool, I'm in. How did I not know this existed before? And it's because it was a web comic. So it was.
There you go.
This is the first time it's in print. This also stars the Redeemer and Omega Spawn with Spawn. And this includes a gallery of covers, which I think is an interesting term because it was all digital artwork before, But anyway, and artwork from behind the scenes. It's written by Jonathan David Goff with art by Carrie Randolph. This is a Greg Capullo cover. So,
I think it's funny. It's the complete collection. It's 2 issues.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, they're not wrong, but
right. And I like the price. It's a trade paperback price that I like, $9.99.
Yep.
And this drops May 14th.
there you go. I've got this for the cover. It's all by itself. I'm not gonna let it share the screen or anything else because I love it. Bruno Redondo's Absolute Batman number 8, May 14th. Man, that just looks so cool to me. So I pre-ordered this one for the cover.
Oh, there's a cover in this week's coming out soon. This reminds me of. I don't like when words are done like this.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I mean, in general. I mean, not talking about this cover in general. I hate when words are done in a scrolly back and forth, up and down kind of thing like that. This cover looks pretty cool. Obviously, mostly because of Batman, but just the layout's pretty cool. But man, in general, I don't like when words are split up and written up and down like that. It's so funky to me.
Yeah. So
I mean, for all you know, Mike, this could be saying Asslet Bowie. You don't know. You don't know which way to read it. It's confusing.
True.
I know I was reaching there.
Yeah. So
All right, cool. Sorry, Pat. Keep going on rants on everybody else's turn. Your turn, Pat.
I don't have anything else. I'm out.
Oh, that's it. Okay. All right. I don't know how many. Do you have any more of these covers left, Mike?
one.
Okay, I've got a couple. So, so another Rivals reference. So this is Jeff the Land Shark. From what I can tell, and it's one of those things in the previews guide, they say, you know, the only description it's got is see more information in future previews guides or something like that, right? So this, I'm assuming this is going to be, he's going to get his own ongoing series here. Because this is Jeff the Land Shark #1. This drops on June 4th. This is $4.99 cover, but that's all the information I have. But I wanted to put this cover up because I thought it was cool.
At least let us know that Jeff the Land Shark is out there.
Yeah, yeah. Very fun cover. And this has got all the this is more of a Rivals cover, or as much of a Rivals cover as a Jeff the Land Shark. These are all the characters on this cover are in Rivals with Jeff, you know. So
yep.
All right, Mike.
Excuse me. All right. My last one for the cover, we've got Catwoman 76, the Sebastian Fiumara variant.
Oh man.
And Art Germ back on Supergirl. There was that little stretch he did.
Yeah.
What was that, 10 years ago now? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Where he did the variants for the Supergirl run. So anytime you've got Art Germ on a Supergirl cover, we got to highlight it. He's really good. Grab
it too, because I think those still hold some pretty nice value on them. They aren't crazy, but
yeah,
they're not dollar books. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You're finding them in dollar bins, you know.
Yep.
They're awesome.
Yeah, there you go. And I should have looked there. There's probably a foil for that Supergirl. That looks like it would be a perfect foil.
Yeah, that would be a great foil. Yeah.
Cover as well. So, but I really like that Catwoman.
Very nice.
There you go.
Mike, you cheated. You only said you only had one, but you had two, and you dropped them at the same time.
Well, one slide. Yeah.
I know. Just kidding. All right. All mine are on separate slides. I've got 3 or 4 here. I'll run through them quickly. These are a couple that I thought you were going to show, Mike. I didn't think I was going to show these, but this is an homage variant for Feral #13. I thought this was very cool.
Yeah, there's so many. They're going to run out of horror movies to do mods to, because every single issue has these horror movie posters that I kind of stopped looking at them.
Oh, really? Yeah, I love them. Yeah. So yeah, Feral the 13th issue.
That's a really good one for issue 13, though. Obviously.
Yeah.
And I still get that book. I'm just behind on reading it.
And then with the 9 lives on the tombstones, even more fun.
Yeah.
And then this one, Geiger. This is homage variant to what's that lady? How do you refer to that lady, or that classic World War II kind of female poster? We Can Do It. How do you?
Rosie the Riveter.
Yeah, Rosie the Riveter. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. And then I was reading the description of this. Sorry.
I was agreeing. It is cool.
Okay. And then I was reading the description of this, and I guess this is a character that drops in this issue of Geiger. Are you up on Geiger too, Mike?
No, unfortunately,
Wait a minute. Stop. You guys are all up to date on Geiger. You guys, didn't you watch the show yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, forgot.
Remember, she first appeared in, I think, issue 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm not getting Geiger anymore, is what I'm saying. I should have. I got the first run. I made the cut on these, and I'm regretting it after hearing what Pat had to say.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So this is Geiger 14. She first appeared in 10. Now I remember. It's all coming back to me, Pat.
I knew it would.
Incidentally, I didn't even tell you this. This is German Peralta variant that drops on May 14th, and this Feral is Tony Fleeks and Alan Palasalaqua variant that drops on May 28th. And then I mentioned at the beginning of the show too. You said you were done, Mike, right?
Yes.
And then I mentioned at the beginning of the show, our age is it's crazy. So this is the 50th anniversary of Giant Size X-Men. Did you guys realize 50 years since Giant Size X-Men?
Try not to think about those things.
Isn't that insane, Pat?
It is insane.
So this isn't a facsimile, though. This is a new story, sort of. This is Miss Marvel witnessing the events. So I guess it's going to be written from her perspective, witnessing the events of Giant Size X-Men. And this is the first of 5 giant size one-shots. And then just another honorable mention. This one's actually even crazier to me than 50th anniversary for Giant Size X-Men. This year's the 20th anniversary of Amadeus Cho's first appearance.
Jeez. Time rolls along.
Mike, seriously, isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Like, I feel like we were just talking about his first appearance like 3 years ago. Like, I'm not even joking. When I read that, it's been 20 years since Amadeus Cho and Hulk and all that.
Yeah, the days are clicking by.
That is
it's Saturday already. No, it's Sunday. All right.
It's Sunday already.
It's Sunday already. I
You didn't even realize it, yeah.
Holy cow.
And then lastly, for me, there's a new batch of Alex Ross Timeless variants that are popping out, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to grab all these as well. This has rubbed me in a annoying, but I guess I'm not annoyed enough to where I'm not grabbing them all because I'm grabbing them all. But annoyingly enough, what comic is this cover for, Pat?
I'm going to say Jeff the Land Shark #1.
That is a perfectly good guess. But no, this is Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine that, right? Because, yeah, then, Mike, what is this the cover for?
Jeff the Land Shark.
Nice. No, you're close, though. Deadpool and Wolverine. Come on now. Seriously, why aren't all of Alex Ross's timeless variants the way they should be? You know what I mean? Why isn't this a Wolverine? Or why isn't this a Deadpool? You know? And I actually was thinking about this. I actually finished all this up last night. Shocking. But I finished all this up last night, and I came up with this thought about the timeless variants. So I haven't actually done it yet, but I'm going to do it for a future show where there has to be a timeless variant like this where it's Nick Fury on Deadpool versus Wolverine, but then on the Nick Fury comic, they have a rogue variant. You know, there has to be, like, you know what I mean? There's so many of them now. I guarantee it's actually doubly stupid, in my opinion, when they not only have the timeless variant be someone on the cover that doesn't match the book, but they actually did the same thing with a different book that would have made sense if they flip-flopped them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to wonder the thought process. How do they justify that, or how,
I'm actually going to try to take the heat off Alex Ross here a little bit. And I'll bet you Alex Ross just turns a bunch of these timeless variants in. And then some bigwig at Marvel's just like, put that Nick Fury on Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The artists, they get commissioned to do work and they turn it in, and they may not even see it on a book for 2 years or something. Sometimes it happens.
Really?
Sometimes they're commissioned to do a specific book, but yeah, sometimes it's just, they finally got around to using my piece on this variant. Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy. I wasn't aware of that. So anyway, that's it for me.
All good stuff.
So everybody go out and or you don't have to go out, just get online and order all this stuff and then go out and pick it up in a couple months. Next month. Anywhere from next month to June.
Yep.
But I am personally happy the previews is back for this month. And we'll see next month. It might be called the what is it again, Pat?
Pre-order pandemonium.
Pre-order pandemonium. Stay tuned to see if that changes next month.
There's Diamond's still printing physical catalogs as far as February went, so or as far as March went, I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's speed close this out real quick. Got life to get to. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications for every time we drop previews as well as all of our other great shows. Please follow Xcellar Comic on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and follow Xcellar_Comics on TikTok. Check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_Comics. Watch our shows on the Whatnot app. I've got a show scheduled for next Friday, I believe. You can bookmark that now. And then you can help to support the show and everything we do through Patreon, patreon.com/XcellarComics. And we don't have this, Karen. It's not updated. It's fine. But just check out our next live stream. Or no, our next show would be Cover Combat Round 4.
Yes.
Yeah, Monday, March 24th. Oh, it is there. Good job, Karen. March 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll do it. All right. Do you have anything else, Mike?
No. Enjoy the books.
Pat.
Nothing from me.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for checking out what we had to show you today. We hope you grab all this good stuff up. And until next time, don't forget that knowing what will be released in 3 months is awesome. And watching what your favorite live streamers will order is a lot of fun. So why not watch the preview by Xcellar Comics and do both? Xcellar out.